Hey guys, Nuan here to talk about Robin Hood. I originally wanted to do a straight up review of the new Robin Hood movie starring Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx, but then I thought, instead of just trashing this movie, why not use this opportunity to talk about a Robin Hood movie I really love? No, not that one. This one. So this is the 7 reasons why Robin Hood Prince of Thieves was a good Robin Hood movie, and also why Robin Hood 2018 was not. Number 1, Prince of Thieves got the character right. Both movies are fundamentally telling the same story. It's the story of a war veteran that fights in the Crusades, gets fed up with the war, and comes home to find out that his family estate has been seized by the Sheriff of Nottingham, who is now heavily taxing the people. But the way the character development is handled is where the key difference lies. In Prince of Thieves, you see Robin forced to go live in the forest because he has nowhere else to go. You see him befriending the common people who have also been driven from their homes. They don't like him at first, but he slowly gains their trust. He's shown to be a natural leader that people gather around. So when they slowly build up this band of outlaws and start stealing from the sheriff, it feels natural. In Robin Hood 2018, Robin, or Rob as they call him, spends most of his time dressing up in smart-looking suits and attending parties, while at night he's dressed in a hood stealing from the sheriff. Now I do like the concept of him trying to gain the sheriff's trust by pretending to be a rich douchebag, but the movie doesn't really explore that to its full potential. And since he doesn't spend a lot of time with the common townsfolk, he doesn't really understand their plight. He needs Jamie Foxx's character to tell him what to do. The entire first half of the movie, Rob is incapable of making his own decisions. Jamie Foxx has to say, "Sheriff is bad, we should bring him down." This movie desperately wants to be like Batman Begins, but Bruce Wayne in that movie figured out what he needed to do. Rob needs somebody to explain to him. That's a very weak protagonist. Number 2, Prince of Thieves had a fun cast. Look, I like Taron Egerton, he's funny and very likable in the Kingsman movies, but he's no Robin of Locksley. He's too young and he just doesn't feel like a battle-hardened English lord. Kevin Costner, on the other hand, was really good in the role. Yeah, his British accent disappeared halfway into the movie, but he was very charismatic and likable, and he had the star power to carry this movie on his shoulders. He also had great chemistry with Mary Elizabeth, who played Marion, and his supporting cast of merry men, especially with Morgan Freeman. The relationships worked in that movie because the casting from Little John to Friar Tuck and Will Scarlet was perfect. Now, Prince of Thieves came out in 1991, so I'm gonna go easy on it for having Morgan Freeman play a Middle Eastern character. But this is 2018. There's no excuse for getting Jamie Foxx to play an Arab character. He feels like a weird choice for this role. Had the team up of Egerton and Jamie Foxx worked, I could have given this a pass, but it doesn't work. The same could be said for most of the other supporting characters. I didn't care at all about Marion. There's also a love triangle subplot with Rob, Marion, and Will Scarlet, who's played by Jamie Dornan. What the hell is this, Twilight? There's also a lot of characters that suddenly change course without any build-up or proper motivations. People switch sides like that. Then there's Friar Tuck, who's supposed to be the comic relief, but unfortunately the comedy didn't work for me. There's a lot of modern humor, sort of like they're trying to be like a Marvel superhero movie, but the jokes never landed. I spent more time laughing at the absurdity of this movie than at the jokes themselves. Reason number 3, Prince of Thieves had a lot of heart. Look, deep down this movie was about family. Robin had a strained relationship with his father. He wasn't around when his father was killed by the sheriff. There's a lot of emotional baggage there, a lot of regrets. There's also the subplot involving Will Scarlet that brilliantly plays into that. This family theme also extended to the supporting characters like Little John, and in a totally unexpected way with the sheriff as well. Rob Hood 2018... I have no clue what the hell this movie is about. There's no single thing that stands out, a theme or a feeling that we can relate to. Number 4, Prince of Thieves feels like a historical period movie. Everything from the clothes, the sets, the props, hairstyles, and makeup looks like the story is taking place during the Crusades. You see the beautiful English countryside, Sherwood Forest, mist-covered rivers. The locations felt just right. Rob Hood 2018 feels off. First of all, the costume department totally messed up. People are walking around wearing clothes that look way too modern. If I wore Robin's leather jacket from this movie and started walking around town today, nobody would notice me. It's that modern. There was not a single location that looked like it was in England. Also, I barely saw the English countryside. It's mostly the town of Nottingham where Robin is sneaking around in. And since he spends more time being a thief than the leader of a band of outlaws, they should have called this movie Thief. Oh my god, this is the live-action adaptation of the video game Thief. Reason number 5, Prince of Thieves had Alan Rickman as the sheriff. Now Ben Mendelsohn, he's not bad, but most of the characters he's played are starting to blend into each other. He's always the corporate douchebag. He also looks too much like an evil CEO in this movie. Even his suit looks like he could have worn it in The Dark Knight Rises, or Rogue One, or Ready Player One. It looks so modern you wouldn't even know the difference. Alan Rickman, on the other hand, one of the best movie villains ever. He was so much fun even when he's being evil. It was so entertaining to watch him lose his shit and freak out. He also had a cool backstory, and his relationship with the evil witch was really interesting too. It's my favorite Alan Rickman performance, even more than Hans Gruber in Die Hard. Number 6, Prince of Thieves had music. Robin Hood 2018 has a lot of bop bop Hans Zimmer sounds. By now the most overused generic music you can put in a movie. I don't remember anything about the music. Prince of Thieves had a beautiful score by Michael Kamen. It felt appropriate for the time period and very epic. It also nicely integrated parts of the Bryan Adams song for the romantic moments between Robin and Marion. Which brings me to number 7, Prince of Thieves had a Bryan Adams song. Everything I Do It For You is one of the most romantic love songs ever written. This song was the wedding song in the 90s. Now we just get Ed Sheeran all the time. Rob Hood 2018 doesn't even have Ed Sheeran. Not that that's gonna save it, but you know. Conclusion: if you want to watch a good Robin Hood movie, watch Prince of Thieves. It might be a little cheesy by today's standards, but it's got a lot of heart and it's so much fun. Watch it just to see Alan Rickman freak out. It's totally worth it. Rob Hood 2018 is not the worst movie of this year, but it's just so bland that I can't recommend you to watch this in theaters. It's a Batman Begins, Green Arrow superhero style attempt at Robin Hood, and for the most part it doesn't feel right. Now, I don't mind unconventional adaptations of classic tales. I love the Guy Ritchie King Arthur movie, but the characters in Robin Hood were not interesting, and the casting felt wrong along with the costumes they were wearing. If this was a TV movie, it would have been fine, and that's exactly how you should watch this. Don't encourage Hollywood to make a sequel for this by buying tickets to watch this in theaters. Yeah, so there you have it. Did you watch the new Robin Hood? Have you watched the 90s Kevin Costner movie? And which one do you like more? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe. Movie Slinger out.